Bro, The View is like a suing magnet. I'm believing at least, guys. But either way, Sunny Hostin canceled from The View after Melania Trump sues for $100 million. This is a suggestion via a channel member, guys.
I think
coming from the channel King Kudos.
she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
Wow.
She does not want to be the
Her
first
husband?
lady anymore.
They agree with
She
you.
doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't
don't
want
care.
anything
She
to
doesn't
do with
care
him.
about that, yeah.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him.
Okay.
She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she doesn't.
Yeah, how do you know all?
Notice how she's not saying allegedly. Now, to be honest, normally when you guys send me videos like this, I look at it and I'm just like, this is just an opinion, right? But pay attention to the words that she's actually using here. She's confirming it, right? This is not like an affirmation here. This is confirmation versus affirmation, let's say. She doesn't want to do this. How do you know? You get what I mean here, guys? Like, she's saying it with so much like gusto that it's almost like there could be no way this is not true. And if that's the case, then you may deserve to get sued.
Doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't
don't
want
care.
anything
She
to
doesn't
do with
care
him.
about that, yeah.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she doesn't.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I
How do you
don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly.
she
That's
told
why
me.
I say allegedly.
I told Sunny.
Like when you have the other people talking, that's crazy.
Hold on to your seats, folks. This story is about
Saying
to
that.
get intense. We've got a major legal showdown on our hands, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single detail. Melania
Okay.
Trump, former First Lady of the United States, is taking the hosts of The View to court in a defamation lawsuit worth a staggering $100 million. Yes, you read that right, $100 million. This is a battle that has the potential to shake up the entertainment and media industries, and it's already got people talking. So what exactly is going on here? Let's break it down piece by piece. First things first, Melania Trump is suing the hosts of The View over some seriously explosive comments they made about her during a recent episode. And when I say explosive, I mean they've really hit a nerve. This is not your average celebrity feud. We're talking about a high-profile legal battle that could have lasting implications for how the media treats public figures. And Melania, she's not holding back. Now, let's get into the details of those comments that triggered this whole situation. During a discussion on The View, the hosts were talking about Melania's time as First Lady, and let's just say their opinions were far from flattering. In fact, some of their remarks were downright controversial, if not inflammatory. One host, for example, suggested that Melania wasn't exactly thrilled about her role in the White House. The implication was that she didn't want to be First Lady in the first place and wasn't happy with her marriage to Donald Trump. Those are some seriously bold claims to make about someone's personal life.
The unfortunate part is that the way that Sunny was actually saying it, it doesn't feel like these are bold claims. She's saying she doesn't, not I don't think she does. You get what I mean here, guys? She's confirming this. She's saying this is true. And so if it's not true, oh no, Sunny.
Critics are going hard after a liberal media member for vile comments about Melania Trump. The former First Lady appears to signal
disgusting.
her support for reproductive rights in a video out yesterday.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
And this take is pretty shocking.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
Wow. I mean, that is violent. They've got to stop talking like that about a former president who's had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, that's just ignorant.
But that wasn't the worst of it. The conversation quickly spiraled into a series of criticisms of Melania's personal choices and actions while in the White House. They scrutinized everything from her redecorating of the White House to her stance on Christmas traditions. One host even went as far as to imply that Melania didn't care about the role she was in, painting a picture of someone who was resentful and unhappy with the expectations placed on her. As you can imagine, these kinds of comments didn't sit well with Melania.
Because I do want to get back to this point with the left and Melania Trump. Why can't she just be her own woman and have separate?
And she can.
And so why all that criticism? I mean, that was gross from The View.
And I
look,
agree.
The View is not the litmus test of America. We don't think that.
They were afraid of that remark. That was their problem.
So why did they handle it that way?
Here's the thing, Melania is known for being a very private person, especially compared to other public figures. So when these personal attacks were made, she was reportedly furious, and it didn't take long for her to take action. Melania filed a defamation lawsuit against the hosts of The View, claiming that their statements were not only false, but also seriously damaging to her reputation.
Bro, what is going on
This isn't just
here?
about hurt feelings or a public relations stunt. This is about protecting her image and ensuring that false and harmful narratives about her don't spread unchecked. I'm
gonna be honest, that's completely fair. In this context, completely fair.
Her image and ensuring that false and harmful narratives about her don't spread unchecked. And let's be clear, this lawsuit isn't something you see every day. Public figures, especially those in Melania's position, often take a more passive approach to media criticism.
Yeah, they
Many
ignore
choose
it.
to issue brief statements or simply ignore the controversy. But Melania, she's not backing down. By filing this lawsuit, she's sending a message that she's not willing to let falsehoods about her character go unchallenged. She's fighting for accountability, and she's doing it in a major way.
These are such vile comments, but they are exactly what The View's audience loves. It is targeted perfectly at a radically feminist, liberal audience that loves hate. Another now. This is loving and tolerant rhetoric the left uses, which they accuse the opposing side of using. And this one, those women are a danger to America. They do more than anyone else to stoke political and social tensions. The former president says he thinks his wife should be allowed to think for herself.
But why does this matter? Why is this lawsuit so important? Well, folks, this case is about more than just a celebrity beef. It's about a much larger issue. What can and can't be said about public figures?
You could basically say anything, like to a certain extent. Like you can say a lot in terms of whatever you feel towards a public figure, but I'm not sure you can still make up slander, right? You didn't write it, so it's not libelous, right? But it's definitely slanderous. It's coming out of your mouth. You are, in fact, saying a whole bunch of nonsense. You do not know any of these things. This is why your co-host came out from the behind the scenes, for the most part, yelling allegedly, because they caught you saying slander.
This lawsuit raises crucial questions about the boundaries of free speech, media responsibility, and the protection of personal reputations. Melania's legal battle could set a precedent for how future defamation cases involving public figures are handled, and it could have a huge impact on the way media outlets, like talk shows, treat personal matters about the people they cover. Think about it. If Melania wins this case, it could shift the way media platforms approach controversial or speculative stories about politicians, celebrities, and their families. We could see a major rethinking of what's considered acceptable content on shows like The View and other major outlets. This could lead to a more cautious approach when discussing public figures' private lives. But on the flip side, it could also spark debates about the potential chilling effect on free speech, especially when it comes to discussing the lives of those in the public eye. And
I'm not sure that's even covered under free speech. Like, you have a certain extent of it is, right, when you're giving your opinion while saying, allegedly, this is what I think is what is going on, right? Obviously, give it a caveat by saying, this is what I think, this is not what I know. You get what I mean? You're not really confessing anything. You don't know anything. You're looking from the sidelines and believing something is true and then saying it. You're spewing this trash out of your mouth. An opinion is an opinion, valid. I have no problem with that being considered freedom of speech, etc. But when you start speaking slander, you know something is not true, but yet you're just saying it. That's slander. I'm not sure that's covered, Sunny. You're a lawyer, right?
Here's where it gets even more intriguing. The timing of this lawsuit. Right as Melania files her legal claim, Donald Trump is making headlines for a completely different set of reasons. Some people are already speculating that this legal action could be a calculated move on Melania's part. Could this lawsuit be a strategic attempt to shift the media spotlight back onto her, especially with everything going on in the
No, she's extremely private. She doesn't care about this at all.
Political sphere? After all, Donald Trump's controversies and legal battles are dominating the news. So could Melania's lawsuit be part of a broader strategy to reassert her presence in the media landscape? It's definitely something to think about. But let's take a moment to talk about the comments that really pushed Melania to take legal action.
Allegedly, he was cheating while Melania was pregnant.
That was all. That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that won't come up.
We're on television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yes.
It's like people should look at him and say, you know, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant. I'm not attracted to her big belly or something. And now she's paying attention to the baby and not me.
Oh, yeah, that's directly targeted to their audience. 100%, guys. But what Joy said, even though it's terrible, it's her opinion. Pretty sure that's covered, but not what Sunny said.
One of the most jaw-dropping moments occurred when...
Like, pay attention to all the words that she said and how she said it. She strategically said all of these things correctly.
She's paying attention to the baby and not me.
She's good.
One of the most jaw-dropping moments occurred when a host claimed that Melania hates her husband and no longer wanted to live with him. Can you believe that? These kinds of statements are not only deeply personal, they're also highly damaging. For many viewers, it was one of those moments where you had to rewind to make sure you heard it right. The audacity of these comments left a lot of people shaking their heads. It's one of those instances where the line between opinion and harmful gossip becomes incredibly blurry. What's been particularly surprising in all of this is how quickly Melania has moved to take legal action. High-profile figures often don't react so swiftly. Many would have issued a statement or simply let it go. But Melania isn't playing that game. She's going all in, taking the fight straight to court, and with $100 million on the table, it's clear she means business. This is a serious legal battle, not just a publicity stunt. Melania is sending a clear message. The impact of these comments goes far beyond a minor media disagreement. This is about safeguarding her personal and public reputation for the long term.
Now you know who has been bragging all over the campaign trail about how he's the one that overturned Roe v. Wade, but apparently his wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir.
Okay.
Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Okay. What's the problem?
So what does...
Guys, like, I don't get it. I'm going to tell you why I don't get it. People have basically for the last, 50, 60, 70, 100 years, guys, let's say, been able to be in relationships with people who think differently on certain topics. The only time I ever really experienced this type of ignorant ideology is coming from the left, currently at least. Right now, it's coming from them. It's coming from her and everyone at the table. Like, oh, how dare his wife have a different overall opinion regarding this topic? How dare? And that's normal, Whoopi. Right? People don't, not all people on Earth, let's say United States of America at least, want to specifically live within an echo chamber like you, your audience, everyone at that table. That's an echo chamber, Whoopi. You're pointing out inadequacies in your party. But all right, let's go. She has a different opinion.
So what does this mean for the rest of us? This case could raise some pretty big questions about the relationship between the media, public figures, and personal privacy. Can celebrities and politicians expect full privacy, or do they have to accept a certain level of public scrutiny as part of their status? Where do we draw the line between free speech and defamation? This case could reshape media law, and experts are already predicting that the outcome will have a ripple effect across the entertainment industry. If Melania wins, it could change how the media handles personal stories about famous people, whether they're celebrities, politicians, or even their families. Of course, the case is already drawing some criticism. Some believe that Melania is simply exploiting the situation for publicity, while others argue that she's standing up for her reputation and drawing a much-needed line in the sand when it comes to what's acceptable in the media. The truth is likely somewhere in between, but one thing is for sure, this lawsuit is shining a spotlight on the complicated intersection of fame, personal privacy, and media responsibility responsibility. As this case moves through the courts, all eyes will be on both Melania and The View to see how the legal system responds to her claims. This isn't just about the money, it's about setting a new standard for how the media can discuss public figures. If Melania wins, we could see a massive shift in how talk shows, news outlets, and entertainment programs handle controversial subjects involving celebrities and politicians. The drama is just getting started, and we'll be here to keep you informed every step of the way. So what do you think? Is Melania right to sue, or could this set a dangerous precedent for free speech in the media? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe.
All right, guys, let's go do a little, let's have a slight conversation here. What Sunny said, in fact, does feel like slander. What Joy said just is reckless, but it's her opinion based off of how she said it, at least. It's really important how you say things, right? Definitely important. So after some really quick research here, this is nonsense. What I mean by nonsense, I mean that there is no lawsuit, okay? Yeah, there's no, like, there's nothing nowhere that's reporting that this is a thing. I think some of these videos tend to pop up. You guys want me to watch them? We'll watch them, right? But of course, as we're encountering it, we're going to have to do some type of fact checking. Absolutely, multiple sources, multiple sources. This is just a rumor. A rumor started apparently by a channel called Uncensored Insight. This was the first channel to basically post something regarding this overall topic. Do I think that she would have a case? No. Guys, when it comes to public figures, it's tricky, okay? It is, in fact, a tricky thing. You can get away with saying a lot about a public figure, and it's because they're a public figure exclusively. Should that be a thing? If you don't make it a thing, then they'll never really be famous, if that makes any sense. Because, like, a lot of people's fame comes from you talking about them exclusively, right? And I think that's just a reality here. There is no one being sued. I think the last video you guys sent me was like, Elon Musk is suing The View. I don't know, bro. We also find out that that's not a true statement. They know better. Like, specifically in the case of Elon Musk, during that last video at least, I would not suggest Elon Musk to sue The View over those statements. This one here, I don't know, bro. Sunny said a lot. Okay, there was no allegedly. She had to be reminded. She was basically speaking in confirmation. She was saying, this is true. She doesn't do this. How do you know that, Sunny? How do you know? That's a better case, but I still don't think it'll set a solid precedent, guys. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, paparazzi exists. They're terrible to celebrities and public figures. They're absolutely terrible. But I'm not sure you can do much about that. Right? I mean, they're covered under the First Amendment. You're in public, right? So they're gonna catch you. You can't stop these people. You can't. You have to do a lot of altering of the First Amendment if you wanted to stop them. But all right, because if it's happening, they're gonna photograph it. That's how that works. But guys, listen. I wouldn't specifically pass talking about it is cool. You can talk about it, sure. But I want you guys to leave the video knowing that there's no lawsuit. At least you learned that from me today. There's no lawsuit, guys, at all regarding this topic. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. The fact that you just made it to the end of the video says a whole lot, actually. We have a couple other channels. MrLboyd Music, MrLboyd Movie Reacts, along with MrLboyd Discusses, where I just generally speak about the things that specifically matter to me. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.